I'm watching this, and I didn't mean to cry, and I didn't mean to put it up just now. It's Loretta Lynn's legacy. She's the country singer, the coal miner's daughter. And this, excuse me, it's been a long hell of a ride. I'm 79 years old. And just before I would written the book that I talk about mind control, murders, and Tesla files, and all this, Larry Flint was shot by a program shooter, so I'm not going to go into that again. I was later flown out there in 83, in a campaign, and oddly enough, it was to replace one of the doctors, a congressman, that was supposed to have gone down in the KAL when it crashed. Pilot was programmed to fly into Russian airspace where it got shot down. Anyway, I didn't win uh, the campaign. Buddy Darden, the district attorney, who's a good guy, I totally believe, and he should have become and stayed on as he didn't run again. Anyway, that's not my point. When I did the book, I was April Fool Day of '80. I was um, given something that should have killed me. There's no way I should have walked away from it. And everything at that time was taken from me again. And I went to work for the district attorney Simpson there in the condition I was in. But what I wanted to tell at this point was it had to have been that time when Loretta Lynn's that song came out, because I remember being at Dempsey's trailer. She was the mother of the twins, and when I was kidnapped, I was given her twin. They were Carl Preston Dempsey and Peggy Ann Dempsey. I was given Peggy's name. Of course, Peggy is a nickname for Margaret, which is my name. Victoria II is that's who I am. Anyway, my point, I cry because I can remember in the condition I was sitting there at Dempsey's, the cold-blooded psychopath, the family, um, in the condition I was in, and God only knows that, because my children, I was so afraid they were going to get killed. And I couldn't reach them. They never knew this part. Anyway, I was working for the district attorney, during this song that this movie, The Coal Miner's Daughter by Loretta Lynn, and you need to listen to it because that's why it triggers my tears. And nothing against Loretta Lynn. I'm going to tell something else I did, and because of my life, and people can dismiss it or know I'm telling the truth. I can make it up. I remember when I married my husband, we were driving through Memphis, to Memphis. And it was right about the time that, wasn't it Sam Cooke? Cupid, bring back your bow, then let the arrow float. That was my song. I wrote the words. And it became a number one hit. He was killed right after then, too. I wrote, okay, I can't right the moment bring them up, but I used to have boxes. I'd just sit down and write them in the ninth grade, and I didn't know any different 10th, 11th, 12th as I worked to make a living for Lina Dempsey. And the one person that was kind was Philip that was put there. And I don't think for one moment that Philip was born from that woman. He was put there like me, and I loved him, and he's a decent human being. Anyway, I wrote the songs and I had boxes of them. I didn't know in the ninth grade I was so brutalized. I just sent them to Nashville, Tennessee. On Country Row, you could get a magazine, get the addresses and all that. Well, it was later that I saw that somebody wasn't sending my music or my lyrics back, but they were later. It gets into some more that I'm sitting here because I was watching that on the local TV, but it's network with Savannah Guthrie and Hoda Kotb and up there, the morning NBC program that had Loretta Lynn on. But I remember specifically listening to the song, or the movie had come out, Loretta Lynn and the Coal Miner's Daughter. And she's talking about him, and nothing against Loretta Lynn. I think she's a nice person. Um, but it has a lot of symbolic meaning because my father was king, and that seems to not resonate with some people. They hate me for telling it. I didn't find out until after 1983 when I was in that campaign. But he was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, my mom. He never married Wallace Simpson. The man was a character assassinated and was used on him. And I mean, if you were going to throw up and make somebody one of the worst people in the world when he's the most beautiful that ever walked the face of the earth, and that's not just me talking. And you know, she said something up there that might be very true. Loretta Lynn did. She said she hoped they asked what her father, he's deceased. She asked what her father, I've forgotten the exact words, be proud of her. And I thought, my father, I hope his name's cleared. He didn't deserve this. And that movie was made back in about 1980 because I remember seeing it when they'd put the stuff in me that should have killed me and handed me back to the horrible woman. And I was told with the district attorney, because he was a nice man, not to speak of it. So what had happened to me about what they'd put in me. It was only in 1983 I found out my real name. But all the songs, I used to just pick them up and write, think of a title. I even remember looking in Sears and Roebuck, and I just was looking through the dresses, and I had one, and it was a little caption underneath the dresses, and I took that and sat down and wrote a song. But right at the moment, I could tell you some more. It was about, at least they got #1 hits. They were the music set to it and everything, but the words were all mine. Every one of them. The only thing I know that was later, and I don't know that has anything to do with that, but my sons became real close friends with, and I'm not going to mention his name. His first name was Rusty, but his mother actually worked in the music industry on Music Row, which is where I sent my music way back then, or the words, that I'd written. But I'm trying to think. There was some of them that got real #1 hits, and then I remember there was one that I remember seeing. I don't know if it was Buck Owens' first wife, or it seemed like that's what I remember, but I don't know. But it was whoever this country singer was. It was exactly word for word from the words I had said in the song I had done. That one didn't get popular. It was just, but I remember that one distinctly. And I guess that's what I had to say. It doesn't matter that my father and mother suffered so much in my children.